Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. We got invited out to play the new Dying Light game early in Poland. Very grateful for that. Hashtag ad, hashtag sponsored, whatever. But I wasn't able to go at the time, so Joey Conway, my right-hand man, ended up going to Poland, playing the game, and making this video as a result. So I want to warmly introduce Big Joey as the main host for this video. Show him some love, please, in the comment section. Here's his takes on Dying Light: The Beast.
We got a bunch of things to talk about today. We got the environment, we got the story, we got the parkour, we got the combat, we got the gore. So let's get right into it. So what did I think about the environment? I didn't have the time to go and explore everything, obviously, but you start off in the woods, then you get this beautiful overlook, and then you end up in this big building, and then you move on and you're in the downtown area. And beyond just how varied it is, you can see how gorgeous this video game is. We were playing this at 4K 60 FPS, and the lighting here is incredible. It might be my favorite thing about how this game looks. I love the lighting. I love how the light hits walls. I love how the light looks inside. I love that at nighttime it's really dark, and when you go indoors at nighttime it's really like pitch black. And the colors, it's not oversaturated, but it's not dull. And it really feels apocalyptic, but it also feels really beautiful. It's especially gorgeous too because it's coming out on the last generation of consoles. So if you don't have one of the new ones yet for some reason, you can play this on PS4 or whatever the last Xbox one was. Who keeps track? And I think the greatest thing about the environment is that it just feels so alive. There is nothing dead about it besides the fact that, you know, they're zombies, but there's something always going on. I never feel bored while running around. There's always a moment where you have to make a decision on where you want to travel, how you want to travel. Am I going to spend time on the ground where there's 1,000,001 zombies, or am I going to go on the rooftops and parkour around? And there's going to be encounters on the middle of the street with, I don't know, bandits. They're going to be covering their own loot cache of their weapons, and you're going to be like, hey, I want those. So then what are you going to do? You're going to take them out and you're going to take their loot. And then you're going to get something really good, something probably better than what you had before. And that happened to me many times. And then, you know, you might run into a random NPC that's just like, hey man, like, can I please have a bandage, please, sir? And then he gives you a Molotov. And it's, you know, there's something to always do even without looking for it.
You! What the hell are you doing here? Who are you? Answer the question, asshole!
I can't. He will.
Start talking.
You're playing as Kyle Crane, who is the playable character in the first game. And I'm going to read this little blip from Dying Light: The Beast website. It says, after being captured by the Baron and enduring his painful experiments for years, you escape, but the scars remain. Left on the edge of humanity with both human and zombie DNA, you struggle to control your inner beast and the conflict that comes with it. But you'll need to if you want to get your revenge on the man who did this to you. So the point of the game is to find this guy that experimented on you over the last decade, and now you have these special powers as Kyle Crane, and that lets you transform into the Beast. We will talk more about the Beast and its utility when I talk about combat later, but for now, there are different objectives of the story missions, but everything is sort of there to bring you to fighting a chimera, which also has modified DNA and modified powers. And when you kill it, you get to kind of take its blood juice and then you inject it into yourself as Kyle, and then you unlock new abilities. And so far, the missions have felt varied to a degree. One moment, I'm going out to do this one task, and it gets derailed because there's a distress signal over radio from a group being attacked by one of these chimeras.
Mayday! 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 We're under attack at the town hall! Something is trying to get in and we can't!
So then I go and kill this thing, and I'm like, hey guys, you end up meeting a new camp of people. And they give you side quests. They have dialogue that makes them feel human. I like how they're voice acted. Like, overall, pretty solid with my first interactions with different characters in the game besides the main one and the main fetch quest giver. So while it felt like there was variation in what I was doing, the main goal is to find these chimeras and get more powerful as Kyle. And I don't know how it's going to play out over the course of the full game, if it's just going to feel monotonous, if it's going to just get old and stale. But as for right now, it was sort of fine. And I think that if the narrative is just fine over the course of the full game, I think that's okay. I don't think that's going to make this a bad game. There is one other thing I want to mention about the story real quick. I have come across random encounters with people like this dude in this cabin.
Shit! Don't you know better than to sneak up on somebody like that? I thought you were one of those infected fuckers.
Calm down.
You calm down.
And that's fun stuff. I like coming across these random encounters. Ones that might seem insignificant at the time. They might be more significant later. You might find out more about this character. I don't know, but I'm curious. I think that stuff makes the world feel alive. I think that stuff makes for good storytelling. There could be twists later. I don't know fully. But the fact that that was in there makes me confident that there might be more later and more characters than I think I might really enjoy to interact with in the game. Next, I'm going to talk about the gore, okay? If you were playing a zombie game, you want it to be messy. It's going to be disgusting and gross. And if it's not, what are we doing? You're chopping heads off and limbs, and you kick a zombie and it might just lose a leg. And you could swing your shovel one time at this dude's head and it's covered in blood. Your machete, it's got blood all over it. It's disgusting. It's gory. There's limbs flying everywhere. It is kind of what you want for this type of game. And you know, if you're into that, you know, you're into that. Like I don't. You know, I'm not gonna judge. Okay, it is disgusting, and it's perfectly disgusting. So yeah, it's very gory. There's a lot of dismemberment if that's what you're into. And next, that brings me to the combat and the beast mode. I said I would talk about this, and we're talking about it. I need to start with the beast mode because there is a really big problem that I have. And it is completely avoidable. They can fix this, or maybe I have a skill issue or a vision issue, which I do. I wear glasses, but I did not see an option for this in the game. But what about it? Beast mode is essentially an ultimate ability that you will find in many other genres of video games, and you are probably familiar with them in the year of 2025. But how many of them activate as soon as you fill up the bar? Imagine you're playing Call of Duty Zombies, the round changes, but you just charged your field upgrade and it goes off. Like, you don't want to use that in between rounds. That exact thing happens in Dying Light the Beast. You fill up the bar and it just automatically activates. I had a situation where I was at the top of this building at my objective point. I kill this last zombie and it activates. And I'm like, well, I don't want to waste it. I want to go use it because guess what? It's really fun to use. And so I ran all the way down the building and I found a bunch of zombies to kill. I only got through a few of them. And then I had to run all the way back up the building. And it was literally the last thing I needed to do for this mission. I had to hold a button on something. And it's just like, I would have liked to been able to save that for when I see 10 zombies in front of me and I want to just use this super ability that just throws your fists through zombies' abdomens and pulls out their intestines. Like, it's sick. Like, it's disgusting, but it's awesome and it's good and you rip heads off. And like, I want to do that in this game, but like when I want to. I don't know if they have a plan to change this. I don't know if they have a plan where maybe there's already an option that I missed, or maybe there's a couple buttons that would activate it. Oh wait, if you look in the bottom left, you see the Z and X, right? Well, guess what? I pressed those to deactivate the beast mode and it took my meter down. I barely got to save any charge. So like, why, if I charge it up all the way, why am I punished? That's one of the biggest issues I had with how this combat felt. It's pretty cool too. Like, you have a whole entire skill tree for the beast mode and you get skill points by completing the main missions or killing the chimeras. And I think that's cool, but beyond that being cool, like I just want to be able to use it whenever. There could be a skill point there that lets you activate it whenever, but I think that should just be in the game from the get-go. I don't think that should be something that's locked by a skill point. I don't think it should be locked by an option in the menu. I think that should just always be a thing that you can do, is just have your bar fill up. Chat, did I miss something? Like, I hope not. But that's what happened to me. And that will happen to other people. But that's not the entire combat sandbox. You have to earn beast mode charge somewhere, and that's from hacking and slashing combat or shooting your weapon, whatever it may be that you have. So I, being an incredible gamer, I held W and just started swinging at the zombies in front of me, but that's not how you just play this game. You can't just do that, okay? They kept on jumping onto me. I had to keep pushing them off of me. I would run out of stamina. Then they just kill me. And that was not really working out to my advantage. And if there's multiple zombies in front of you, use a big blunt weapon so that, like a shovel shovel so that you can hit multiple at once. Or if there's only one in front of you, you could use a machete and just chop a head off real quick and then move to the next one. So once I figured out how to actually play the video game the way it was intended, I really enjoyed the combat. I thought there was a lot of depth. I thought there was more in the sandbox than I had realized, whether it had been crafting specific grenades to use in combat, whether it was using a trap that was just randomly in the world, or throwing a propane tank and blowing it up. You know, there were things that I could do in the game that you can use if you want. You don't have to, but you can. If there's a vehicle around, you hop in that and you could run things over too. And that's really fun, actually. I had a ton of fun just driving this truck around and running zombies over in the middle of the street. But what I'm saying is there's many ways to approach the combat and to approach the way that you play this game. And I even found a little tech. There's an innate movement ability that you have where you can dodge backwards, the sides, but you can't do it forwards. You can jump forwards, and I was having an issue where a zombie would jump on top of me, I'd have to push it off, and then I'd have to regen my stamina, but my stamina bar was almost depleted because I decided that I was going to keep attacking. So what I had to do is turn around and jump forwards. You can jump while you don't have any stamina. So you cannot dodge to the back or to the right or left, but you can jump forwards. So just a little note for you guys, when you start playing this game, turn around and jump away from zombies if they're attacking you like this. But yeah, the combat was fun. It felt engaging. It felt like there was a lot in the sandbox for me to utilize if I wanted to utilize it. And it also felt like I could just go bare bones hack and slash if I really wanted the challenge and to do that. And undoubtedly, Dying Light is known a lot for its combat, but it's also known a lot for its parkour. And the parkour is fun. There are many different ways to navigate environments by, I don't know, either going on top of rooftops or flying across these big posts in the middle of the street like Tarzan. And I'm sure there's a lot in the movement sandbox that I didn't even figure out. And there was especially one part of it that I really didn't like. And this was navigating by going from a bottom ledge to a ledge above you. I couldn't tell what my character could grab onto. There could be more of an indication for where I can go besides something kind of sticking out of a building more than something else. Like, there were multiple instances where I thought that I could climb upwards when in reality I would just jump backwards off of a building. And I was getting frustrated because I didn't know if I could traverse upwards or not in the specific spot, or I didn't know exactly where they wanted me to go upwards. So I think a little bit more clarity, maybe putting like, I don't know, a marking on a ledge that you can go on, or maybe something yellow like a bunch of other games do, would help the general player base as well as me, who is incredibly casual when it comes to this stuff. But I felt like the parkour was a ton of fun. When the parkour was working for me and I understood, or I was able to just kind of free roam, I enjoyed those parts of the parkour a lot, and I'm confident that it's going to feel good in the final version of the game. And lastly, I just want to talk about the nighttime really quick. I didn't get a ton of time in the nighttime, but the volatiles are just as scary as ever. The danger at night is very present. There are things to watch out for. It's easy to get caught. It's easy to run away, almost. It's also sort of easy to hide. I was not on a high difficulty here, so it will change depending on how hard the game is, I'm sure. There is still a threat at night. You can sleep through it if you would like, and it's just gonna feel a little bit like the first game's nighttime. It's scary and dangerous, and you don't want to go out there, but you really do want to go out there. So that was me, Joey. Thank you for listening up until the end here. Thank you for Milo for giving me this opportunity to go out to Poland to play this game early. I had a ton of fun, and overall, I want to play more. My biggest takeaway is that I want to play more of this game, and it's coming out September 19th. Thank you for Techland for bringing me out there and treating me so well, as I was only there for about 24 hours in Poland, but it was a great experience, and thank you everyone for making it happen.